OpieRadio.
Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
You're on, Gregg.
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama.
Gregg.
Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare.
Greg, where the fuck are you?
Oh! Hey, Joey, what's going on, buddy? I'm just in the subway getting my ohms in. Sorry about that. I lost track of time, but I'm in the subway at the 42nd Street stop. You want to do some people watching in New York City? This is the place to be. Just chilling out and getting some ohms and Hare Krishnas in. Anyway, heading upstairs, heading to the Westwood One Lounge in the heart of Times Square to talk to another one of my really, really good friends, Dr. Ian Smith. He's got another book out, another book on how we can lose weight and eat healthy. We're going to see what this one's all about, but there you have it. I'm on the streets of New York City right now. Beautiful, beautiful spring day. Joey, it's time once again for the OpieRadio podcast! See you upstairs. All right, just got word that Dr. Ian Smith is 5 minutes out. He'll be here at the Westwood One Lounge in a minute. I'm ready to do another fine podcast, and I got to tell you, man, Mikey's here. Yay, Mikey!
Hello, Op.
My stomach is a gurgling, so I'm faking energy right now because I'm hurting. I'm cramping so bad, man. I got a lot to talk about with Dr. Ian Smith because I'm trying to lose the winter weight. Because I noticed, I talked about it on an earlier episode, only a few episodes ago, but I noticed that my eyes look a lot closer together in the middle of my head because I think I got actual face fat from the winter. So I realized it was time to lose about 10 pounds from winter. So I'm juicing a lot. I just drank a kale, spinach. What else was in this? Banana, pear, and almond butter smoothie.
Ooh.
But man, my stomach is a gurgling. It is a gurgling. I might have to go to the bathroom in the middle of this podcast and do some of that green apple splatters, I used to call it. Sorry, I couldn't get it out. I was laughing too hard. Everyone understands the green apple splatters, right, Mikey?
Yes, sir.
So I'm trying to lose a pound a week. So I figure by, I don't know, another month I'll be in, summer shape, hopefully. With a little flab because I'm older. I'm not going for that body I used to have in my 30s and, God, my mid-40s. I want to just look in shape with just a little flab to show the people I'm living.
Well, that's a healthy way to live. You got to lose the 1 pound a week, not the 4.6, 5.2, because then you lose it. 1.3 to 5 is perfect.
And I had a bit of a setback because I'm trying to get off sugar again because sugar is everything.
Everything.
And it's so hard because we're so addicted to it. And if you've been following this podcast and my shows over the years, sugar is more addicting than cocaine.
Mm-hmm.
Cocaine. So I'm trying to get off the sugar, but man, I failed miserably. Last night I got a giant pinkberry with fruity pebbles and shaved chocolate. And then I threw a little blueberries and strawberries in there to keep it a little healthier.
I always thought I ate healthy until Carl told me that if you don't buy the grass-fed, the organic, it sounds silly to buy, but all those burgers have sugar in it.
Yeah.
So you need to buy the grass-fed. It's a few dollars more, but you feel completely different when you cut out all sugar.
Of course. And I'm kind of bummed that Carl Ruiz is not here for this podcast because we're doing the anti-ruizing, or anti-ruizing, I should say, podcast today with Dr. Ian Smith.
Dr. Ian Smith would be horrified to see his Twitter page. He would be.
I know. Maybe we could get Carl on the phone at least.
We can definitely do that.
All right, we got to try to do that because I think Carl needs to talk to Dr. Ian Smith. It's like Dr. Ian Smith is pure evil when it comes to Carl and his ruizing, right?
Yeah, and we'll give Ian the pictures of Carl.
Yeah.
And then we'll have Carl on the phone and try to justify him eating any of this stuff.
Yeah, exactly. There he is. Come on in. We already started the podcast.
Dr. Ian Smith, look how you're nicely dressed, and I put on nice clothes for you today.
Ooh, that's a step
These
up
are
for you.
these are my nice clothes. Look at this.
I was gonna say that's a step up for you.
Look at this.
No, I just got off
you-
Fox. I was on Fox.
Which Fox?
Fox and Friends.
You did
The one
Fox
show.
and Friends.
Yes.
Yeah, take your
My stuff
phones.
away.
Yeah,
Yeah, you can
because
take
it's gonna create static on the podcast. You did Fox and Friends.
Yes. We
What-
taped it. It'll air next week.
What do you think of those guys? You don't lean that way politically,
They're.
but they
listen,
sell books for you.
No. But losing weight,
Yeah.
and helping people,
Yeah.
is apolitical.
Oh, okay.
I help everybody. It does. I have my limits of where I go, but
Right.
I've been going to Fox and Friends for like 10 years.
Yeah, no,
They're very nice to me. They're always welcoming to me. I love doing their show. It's always on my calendar.
Some of those guys are all right.
Yeah.
I've had a few of them on my shows over the years.
Listen,
So-
we're in a very political environment. It's a very divisive environment, and my attitude is what I do is apolitical. It's just trying to help people,
Right.
Get tight. For example, I met Ed Henry today. I've watched him for years. He was on CNN for a long time.
Sure.
He's now on Fox and Friends. I've seen this guy, him and John King for years, watching those guys. So it was nice to meet him this morning. He did the segment. It was
very good.
He
man.
wants to do Clean and Lean, my new book. So we're excited.
I just slammed a green Licious from Juicy Cube. And
Does it have
my stomach is a gurgling.
Does it have any sweetness to it?
I try to keep all the sweetener out because
But fruits.
Well, I'll tell you what's in here. It was kale,
Okay.
spinach.
Okay.
Good so far.
Well, it's good, but it tastes sucks.
No, it doesn't
Spinach
suck.
sucks
No.
in a smoothie.
No, you gotta cut this. You
Well,
gotta cut it.
what are you cutting it with? What are you cutting it with?
Well, when I make these at home, I cut kale, my go-to smoothie when I do it myself is kale, spinach, banana for some substance.
Yeah.
And I cut it with pineapple.
Okay, well, there's your cut.
And
Okay,
it's-
so you have some kick to it. I'd put a little blueberry in there, too. Jeez, that's good.
Yeah.
I got to give you some real recipes.
No, I know my recipes because I've read your books.
But you
over
do the
years.
same thing all the time.
No, so this is what I had today. So it's called a Green Licious. This one they made at Juicy Cube is my go-to place because a lot of these smoothie places, they sneak all the sugars in.
Yes,
So you
yes.
might as well go and have a freaking fribble from Friendly's. This one was kale, spinach, pear,
Okay.
banana,
Okay.
and I think almond butter.
Okay, and about $100 later.
This was about $12. $12.
This city is just outrageous. It's offensive.
Right.
It's just offensive. I lived here, for so many years.
Yeah.
And I had now I know this is going to sound cheap to you, but I had a cup of juice for $7.
Yeah.
Do you understand? Like
That's
in the rest
stupid.
of the country, except for L.A., blah blah.
Yeah.
But the rest of the country, that's just that's a half a gallon of juice.
Of course it is. Of course it is. Because when people over the years found out how much money I made and stuff, I'm like, but it's New York. You got to keep that into consideration. You walk out of your house every day, you're spending $100 without even trying. Without even trying.
Now they got these cabs.
Yeah.
The cab has like a $4
Surcharge. Yeah.
on top of your fare.
Yeah.
So before you move
Yeah.
one rotation of a tire, it's $7. Where are we in London? London used to be like that, you know that, London. But
Yeah,
no one does
yeah.
no one does the black cabs in London anymore. But that's how London is. $10 before you move in London, by the way.
Know what's funny about that? So where I live, when the cabs come, they have to do a U-turn. Like they have to go down a block and do a U-turn. So I could finally be on my way. And these, what word can I use? You're well dressed.
You can do
today.
it. You can do it.
I'm
Go
gonna
all the way in.
I'm going to go with twat.
Okay.
I'm going to go with twat. These twats, right? They will turn the meter on when we get in the cab, and they still got to do their U-turn before I can be on my way. So I now pass my building, and I'm already $7 in. $7 in. We haven't even started the trip. You were doing
like-
your U-turn.
It's like the gig is always on you in New York.
Yeah.
It's just like you don't even realize it subconsciously sometimes consciously. You spend all day trying to avoid getting taken.
Yeah, of course.
In all kinds of ways, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Financially,
yeah.
Physically, it's just,
Absolutely right, man. And the funny thing with the cabs, and we can move on certainly, they're trying to compete with Uber. So they're losing money to Uber. So how do they decide to figure that out? They threw another surcharge onto your ride.
You know
when
what?
they should be a cheaper ride than Uber
They should
at this
be.
point.
Here's the thing: cabs have had such a monopoly.
Yeah.
This is why it's important to have open markets. Cabs have had, and not just New York, all over the country, they've had just such a monopoly. They can do what they want. They can pick you up when they want. They can refuse you because they don't want to go somewhere. But let me tell you something. What these ride shares have done, and the ride share is not perfect, I agree, but what the ride share has done has opened up the marketplace for these guys to realize, hey, listen, guys, there's some competition. Now you got to kind of, get together. But they're not to blame for the surcharge. It's the freaking city saying that it's congestion surcharge.
Yeah, it's all crap.
It's everything.
I parked my car on Columbus. Now we're going too local.
Oh, sorry.
No,
Yeah.
but I love this stuff because it drives me nuts. So I parked my car on Columbus Avenue the other day. They wiped out all the parking spaces during the day on the right side for the trucks because I think all the businesses have finally had it with the ticket scam.
After 30 years?
Yeah, because these trucks come into the city to unload their stuff. There's nowhere to park, and you got the traffic people just giving out tickets left and right. Mike knows this. He works for the NYPD.
Yep.
You know it.
I do know it.
But you know what they should do? This is a whole nother podcast.
Wait. No, this is
because I could get my new book's Clean and Lean, but listen, let me tell you something.
Yeah.
Here's the biggest problem. You ready for this?
Yeah.
They need to regulate the timing of truck deliveries and personal cars into the city.
Right.
They have to do like London does. You got to do like days. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, your license plate is this. Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. That's how you have to do it. The only way to do this city's outrageous. It takes now. I just walked from 48th Street. You know why?
Why?
It would have taken me 20 minutes to get here by cab. 6 blocks.
Because the congestion around here is
terrible.
crazy.
Anyway.
But really fast to finish my story. So,
sorry.
So I guess they did that so the trucks could have some spots to unload their goods without getting the tickets. So I parked on the other side. Mind you, I'm a couple blocks from my house. I was dropping my kids off at school, and I'm like, you know what? I got the car. I want to go to the gym. I'll just park instead of walking all the way home and walking back up to Columbus Avenue. So I parked my car, and I hit max on my parking ticket, assuming it's gonna be $2 because that's how it's been for a million years, right? I see the ticket. $10.75 to park for 2 hours. I'm a block from my house. Not a block, but about three or four blocks from my house. They snuck that one past us. Parking used to. When did that start, Mikey? Do you know?
No, but I have the police plaque, so I'm okay, Op.
You're good.
I actually don't have a car, so I don't need to.
The little guy, I say this all the time to my wife. I'm going to say it now.
Yeah.
The little guy in this country just doesn't have a shot.
No.
And they don't. The good news is most of them don't realize it. Yeah. Because if they did realize it, it'd be a revolution in the streets like they're trying to do in Paris. I just really feel like now you and I, of course, have careers. We have resources. I'll be honest about it. I've been working for a long time. You have too. Right. But I started on the other side of the tracks.
Could you slow down a little bit? You said we both have careers.
we both amble our way through things.
No. I'm not talking about you in this scenario. You have a career.
Oh, stop it.
I'm getting my career back. But you did start on the other side of the tracks.
I started on the side of the tracks. And so I still have that sentimentality and that ethos. And I just feel like every freaking week this country stacks it against the average guy.
Yeah.
It's just nonstop. Baggage fees for airlines. Yeah. They told us that the reason they started charging baggage fees was because of the gas.
Yeah.
That was 8 years ago.
Yeah, the gas went way down.
They haven't taken it off.
No, of course
So you're
not.
a family of 4. Okay, and you're trying to take a trip. You got to pay for the flights, and now you got 4 bags. It's $100 just for the bags. Come on, dude.
And going back to the cabs, because we're not going to get off it now, which is okay. One of their surcharges was all about the gas prices going up, and then the gas dropped down. It's fluid; it goes up, it goes down, but it's way down compared to when they put that surcharge on the cab rides.
Did it go down? Did the surcharge go down?
They just left it on there. As soon as they start a new tax, they're not taking it away in general.
Next time you guys get your bill, look at your cell phone bill and look at all the fees and taxes. I went over my bill. It was like $40.
Right.
In all this other stuff.
Yeah.
It was unbelievable. And I just said, my goodness, we're getting taken left and right.
Yeah.
Now, all these guys running for president, here's the deal. You know what?
Yeah.
take some simple issues.
Right.
Take the average guy issues.
Right.
Say you're going to take a stand, $6 at an ATM to withdraw your own money.
Yeah.
$6. So the bank that you're drawing it from hits you, your bank hits you,
Yeah.
you're at $6 in.
Well, no, why? Because banks in general are a complete waste of time. You don't get anything for your money anymore.
Nothing. There's no interest rates anymore. You get no interest on your money, and they loan it out to people and they get 10%.
The only reason banks in general are in business is because of those ATM fees. Think about
That's
it.
right.
People are lined up all day long just paying between $3 and $6 to take their own money out.
It's unbelievable. So I just say that, give me a presidential candidate. I'm not talking about the party.
They
Give
all
me
suck.
a candidate that's going to speak to real issues for people. All this other highly intellectual blah, blah, blah. No, let's talk about stuff. The cable bill is outrageous.
Right.
All these charges that the average guy is struggling under.
Right.
And by the way, the average guy is not trying to own a Maybach or a Rolls Royce.
Right.
They just want to own maybe a Toyota
Yeah.
and not have a $500 note.
Yeah.
Right? They're not asking for, my point is they're not asking for too
Right.
much, and yet every day is like a slog. It's terrible.
They're just looking for some room.
That's it.
We all live pretty much paycheck to paycheck. One dumb thing goes wrong and you're destroyed.
Destroyed.
That's not how America should be.
No.
And then everyone's babbling about Trump, this, F Trump, I love Trump, Trump, and everyone's being taken.
Everybody's being taken.
I'm a guy, a lot of people think I lean left. I probably lean more. I really think I'm more of a moderate, but whatever. But living in New York City, it's hard not to be a
you're
bit
center left.
Thank you. It's
Yeah,
hard
yeah,
not to be if you live in New York City because you see everything. But where my thought is on politics is that I think the system in general is broken. None of these guys are going to make your life that much better. Who was the last president that really, truly made people's lives that much better? And you can't even really say Obama. Obama moved the needle a little bit. Trump is moving the needle a little bit for the other side. But in general, it's not to the extent where people are like, wow, look at my life. It's great now.
I know, but let me tell you something. I thought with Trump, seriously in the beginning, that here was a guy who was going to go in and break all this crap up because really it's the gridlock in Washington.
Right.
So I thought you have an outsider who's going to come in and bang heads and not care about his favorability within the beltway, as they say.
Yeah.
Instead, he hires all these people who are insiders, lobbyists.
Yeah.
I saw a graphic where like all the people who are running a lot of departments, they were lobbyists in that particular discipline.
Yeah.
That's exactly the opposite of what we wanted him to do, was to go in there and just change the whole complexion of this thing. It hasn't. Someone's got to get in that office and say, you know what? I literally am going to deal with small issues.
Right.
I'm going to attack for the average guy to make his life better.
Yeah.
School debt and the taxes and all these companies, you get this, you have $50,000 or $60,000 in school debt, and then these companies make millions of dollars trading your debt.
Yeah.
So they sell your debt to another company.
Yeah.
They sell it to another company. Meanwhile, you can't keep track of who has your loan.
No.
So you miss a payment, and now your credit is, it's just.
Right. Wow, now you're getting into other things. And we're going to talk about clean and lean. Don't worry. But this is the stuff that'll keep people tuned into this podcast. I promise you. I know this stuff, Dr. Ian Smith. Wow, you just so first of all, the college loan thing.
Yeah.
My brother's in finance. He used to work on Wall Street. Now he just day trades from his house in the middle of nowhere.
Nice.
And he just he's trading on a 16th of a point all day long. Big, sell, buy. I once saw his tax papers for the year because of all the trading he does. It was almost up to my waist from the floor. It's amazing. But anyway, he says that whole bubble is about to burst. The whole college loan scam is about to burst.
It's going to be a mess.
Because you shouldn't be paying that much money to send your kid to college. And then most of them come out of college in ridiculous debt.
Unbelievable. And so bad things happen, right? So they have all this debt, they can't get a job to support it, or they get a job they don't want because they're getting a job for the money, try to pay that debt.
Yeah.
So now you have an unhappy person in a job they don't want to be in, who's not as productive as he could be because he doesn't really like what he's doing.
Right.
And it's just a vicious cycle. The other part, and I'll end on all this,
No,
my
don't
ventings,
end.
but the other part is we have got to change the IRS. It's got to be changed.
Yeah.
The system needs to be absolutely demolished. Go to the ground floor.
Oh, are you going to be audited?
But I'm telling you, it's a mess.
Yeah.
It's a complete mess. Listen, everyone needs to pay their fair share. I agree with that.
Right.
But it's too complicated. The fact that you need to pay a accountant $500, $250, whatever, an hour to figure out your taxes because the tax code is 600 pages or whatever it is ridiculous.
Well, they set that up so the average person isn't going to get, all their refund back.
Yeah.
They purposely do that.
Of course
they
they do.
purposely make it confusing because they know they're going to make money off you that is really yours if you knew how to fill out this stuff properly.
Flatten the IRS. Have you ever tried to call the IRS? Do you know I
Why
called
would
the
you
other
do that? I won't even call my cable company at this point.
I called.
I couldn't get the Grinch on demand. I was like, sorry, kids, we're just not watching this. I ain't dealing with those people.
Let me tell you something. It took me 45 minutes to get a live person.
Yeah.
45 minutes. I had to keep hanging up because I was in this thread, like this auto thread. So I had to actually, to get a live person, I had to hit the wrong numbers.
Right.
So if it's, even I was calling for A,
Yeah.
I pretend I was calling for D because D would get me a live person
Yeah.
on the phone.
Yeah.
45 minminutes. I'm trying to explain something to the lady.
Yeah.
She hangs up on me by accident or purpose. 45 minutes.
Don't say by accident. They take pleasure in that.
She hangs up so I'm like, are you serious? The system's broken.
Yeah.
People need to pay their fair share. But
Yeah.
you know what's going to have to happen? Whatever they make, I don't know, I'm sure the number's there. Whatever they make on taxes,
Right.
income taxes, the Congress has to say, let's just say it's $1 trillion.
Yeah.
Cap it.
Yeah.
Okay? Because their argument, the politicians are going to argue, geez, if we only take in $500 billion, then now we can't pay for all these programs. Okay, guess what? We as a country have decided we'll let you have $1 trillion of our money back to support. Now, you got to figure out how to make that $1 trillion work. That's it. There's no more.
Right.
That's it. And we're going to cap it. It's just.
This is the stuff you should have been talking about on Fox and Friends instead of Kale. Dr. Ian Smith.
Kale suck. That's my next book.
You have a lot. You have a lot to say. Customer service, though, no, they hang up on you on purpose. And how many of us, as you're in the system, frustrated, like press 2 for this, press 3, press 4, press 1. If you want to speak to, press this, and then you just start screaming, and you know they're listening in on this, like
course they
a
are.
real person.
Or how about someone in this country?
Right.
How about some? And it's not. This is not a xenophobic statement. Before you start saying,
No, it was
I
just
mean,
cheaper
but
to farm that out to
Right.
India and other countries.
but
Everyone knows that.
And I'm not against the countries. My point is, though, they can't understand local stuff.
Right.
Right. So I'm talking to you. If I talk to you, I can talk to you about situations. Even if you haven't been in that situation, you can understand the context.
Right.
They can't understand the context.
No.
So I'm having this conversation with someone. They're speaking English fine, but they don't understand what I'm really saying. Do you
Right.
understand? It's just.
It's
what I mean.
crazy.
Hey, listen. Whoever's listening to me, let me start now. To begin. We're at the beginning. We're freaking halfway through this podcast already. Jeez.
We are, actually.
But my Instagram is at Dr. Ian Smith.
Beautiful.
People on Instagram hit me up and said, when are you going back on Opie's show?
Of
Someone
course.
just did that. So it's at Dr. Ian Smith. Spell the doctor out, I-A-N Smith. The first 5 people who follow me and say that they heard me on O's podcast, I'm going to send you a free copy of Clean and Lean, my 30-day program to lose up to 15 pounds in 30 days. But please, first 5 to do it, I will send you a free copy of Clean and Lean. Listen, guys, do it fast because this happens all the time. And someone's number 300, and they're like, did I win? Dude, you're 300 in. Like, you got to do it fast. So I'm announcing it now in the beginning of the podcast.
I just realized I wasn't following you. I'm officially following you.
Good, I'll follow you back.
Look at
I'm a
me.
very-
Look at me. I just posted an Oprah quote.
Oh, you're getting
With the caption, Oprah is the best, giant boobs and deep wisdom.
Oh, jeez. I thought you were going to say something very sentimental about how spiritual she is.
Well,
I guess her spirit comes underneath all that.
No, I listened to her podcast, Super
Is it
Soul
good?
Sunday. It's amazing. And she's from Chicago like you. Now I got to read what she posted. At this stage in my life, I only talk to who I want to talk to.
Yeah, like that.
Case in point, Dr. Ian Smith. This is a truth whether you have a talk show or not. Whatever you're doing in your life, you need to surround yourself with people who stimulate, inspire, and lift you up, who are going to give you energy and not take energy away from you. If you're around people who are taking energy away from you, that's a sign from your instinct, your inner voice, your intuition saying, let them go. Isn't that nice?
It's true, actually. Unfortunately, you can't always control who you're around, but I do agree with the premise, which is that people who are negative and energy sucking, you got to get them out of your life.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
So I gained a few pounds over the winter, Dr. Ian
I
Smith.
see it.
You see it?
Oh, God, here we go.
This is what I do, dude. It's not a lot. It's a few. That's normal.
What
How
the-
dare you? I'm your friend
boy.
for 100 years. You think I'm going to be dishonest with you?
Well, I got 2 kids. There's treats in the house all the time.
Stop. Stop.
No, I don't
do that.
No, I usually don't touch them.
Oh, okay, you're
but
saying
it's
you-
really hard. And then, last night I might have had some Pinkberry with some Fruity Pebbles. But I'm on a diet right now.
What diet?
I'm just trying to eat.
Traitor.
No, I'm trying to eat better and just move more. And I'm only going for a pound a week weight loss, and I've already lost 5. And
How
I
much
want
you
to
wanna
lose
lose?
another. I'm going to lose another 7.
I can take that 7 off of you in 2.5 weeks.
2.5 weeks.
I can name that tune in 3 days.
Because I'll tell you what happened. I had a really long beard because maybe I was going through some depression. I don't know. And
You and Letterman.
yeah, me and Letterman. Oh, the beard was bad until yesterday. Let me explain that in a second. So then I looked in the mirror one day and I thought my eyes were looking too close together in the middle of my face, and I realized I might have a little like fat in my face for the first time in my life. So I'm like, I got to do something about this. So I've been losing a pound a week. I'm back on my bike and going to the gym and doing yoga and all that. And then last night, I allowed my kids to cut my beard. How does it look?
Nice.
How does
They
it
cut
look?
it for you?
Yeah. How does it look? Is it
Looks
a little,
great.
Is it a little spotty?
No, it
Mike,
looks
is it a little
good.
spotty?
In the front, it's a little weird.
Yeah.
How old are your kids now, by the way? Are you allowed to say? Do you talk about your
Yeah,
kids?
yeah,
on here?
well,
I don't. I don't know my kids, but
I talk to them in a very broad
yes.
sense. So
okay.
I got.
Well, let's skip that question. But
No, I got my son's going to be 9.
jeez,
By the time this podcast comes out, it probably is 9. And then my daughter's 6.5, and they both cut my beard off for me last night.
Opie, let me say something.
And I
to you.
decided I was going to go a day without fixing it. So
It looks good. It has a little rugged look. You have Nordic descent, no?
Why? Because of the beautiful blue eyes?
Just the whole. You look Nordic.
I guess. No, I'm a little of everything. I'm a mutt.
You're.
No, I'm a mutt.
You are for real?
I got a little Irish. I got what else do I got? English. I got some Canadian stuff. Whatever
I
that
got
is.
you in Scandinavia somewhere.
Yeah, I got a little of
Look at
that.
me being a
I got
genealogist.
Polish. And I know the Canadian thing's weird, but I'm just saying my mom's father was from Canada. We don't know much about that side of the family, but he originally was from Canada. So whatever they are.
Yeah. So let me say something to you.
Oh, and we can relate. 0.01% sub-Saharan.
Sub-Saharan.
And you know where it is, brother. You know where it is.
Sub-Saharan.
It's sub-Saharan African.
I love it. I love it.
And you know where that 0.01 is.
Guess what? Everyone's got that, believe it or not. They don't want to hear it, but everyone's got like a speck in there, believe me.
Because it all started there.
It all started there, but I'm not
Some
gonna
say.
I'm not gonna get political. But let me tell you something. I was in Egypt over the Christmas.
Yeah.
4,000 years ago, kid. Those are the originators. I know you don't like to hear that, but
I don't care.
not you. I'm just saying. I know people don't like to hear that, but hey, we all come from the same.
I'm pretty
from the same
open-minded. I know a lot of people that let's just say their ideology is a bit different than mine, and then they all been doing the the DNA stuff,
yeah,
whatever one you choose,
Yeah.
and they're all coming back with a little sub-Saharan in them, and I'm laughing my ass off. I'm like,
After all these years. Oh man.
And it pisses them off.
That's right. That's right.
Oh, there must be something wrong with this cast.
Yeah, throw the test away. Okay, listen. 2.5 weeks, 7 pounds. I
2.5.
got you. Let me tell you why Clean and Lean work. Can I just tell you, please?
Well, can I set up by saying this? Your
Yeah.
new book is called Clean and Lean by Dr. Ian Smith. 30 Days, 30 Foods, A New You. Your last book.
Clean 20.
No, man.
Before that, Blast the Sugar Out?
No, your Ancient Nine.
Oh, Ancient Nine. Sorry, you talking about my
Ancient
novel.
Nine. Your novel.
You're
Listen
going
to
to
me.
my heart. Don't go into my heart like that.
Listen to me. Last time I talked to you on the podcast, we went to the Harvard Club.
Yes.
And we talked about that book. I read every single word. And you know,
did?
if you go
You
back
did?
and listen to the you don't remember?
No, I said you did.
Oh.
You read every. You knew
No,
all
that
the.
was
There was a
you
question
did with
mark.
a question
There was a
mark.
question mark.
Thank you,
Doc,
Mikey.
absolutely not. No.
This is how big of a star he is now.
No,
He's
no.
like, I kind of remember talking to
No,
him.
because I'm going to buttonhole what you say. I'm going to let you finish. I'm going to buttonhole what you say. Watch.
All right, so
We met. Tell them again where we were.
at the Harvard Club.
Right.
And man, that was fancy schmancy with a guy just coming over, just serving coffee and tea. And Dr. Ian Smith was nervous that I was going to act out. He was so nervous.
Well, you do have a little history, let's just say.
We were in this giant room with like art on the walls that had to be close to 100 years old.
It's called the Grand Hall.
The Grand Hall, yes. And we had a great podcast. And I loved that book, for real.
The Ancient Nine. So go back and listen to that podcast.
Go
It's
back
fun.
and listen to that podcast, but also if you don't want to listen to that podcast, go and get the book. It's really, really good.
It's in paperback now.
And you were telling me through text message when we were setting up this podcast that it might become a movie, right?
So ready for this? I'm going to buttonhole what you just said.
Yeah.
May 6th, I'm going back to the Harvard Club to have lunch with a Hollywood producer who's optioned the book to make it a movie.
Damn.
I said, I'll take. Usually they want to take. I said, I'll take you to lunch.
Right.
Let's go to the Harvard Club. So we're gonna go back. They're selling it. This guy did Wolf of Wall Street.
Really?
Great film. The same producer. So hey,
Fingers crossed.
fingers crossed that it works. But
Are you okay if they change your book to a point where you're like, come on, man,
guess
this
what?
isn't my book
I
anymore?
wrote the script.
Oh, you
I
wrote-
wrote the script.
The movie script?
Yes, I wrote it.
Wow.
So you already changed it up a little bit.
No. But I at least I have the first draft of the script.
Okay.
So they're gonna come off of my stuff.
Great.
You know, so it's good. Knock on wood. Hope everything works out.
You got a part for the Opster?
I'm trying to get all my people in some way. I'm not kidding you. I may only have one shot at this, so I want people just to have something. Even if there's a scene, the scene where they're going out to the country to do that outing that day.
Yeah.
And they're on the buses and they're like fooling around drinking.
Yeah.
Even putting one of my friends as the bus driver. That's easy, right?
Yes.
So you get one shot of seeing the bus driver's face, right?
I don't want to be a bus driver.
Oh, jeez, dude. I'm trying to squeeze everyone I can in.
Anything but a bus
I
driver.
don't want to be the king. Well, I'm just saying that's one role that there are a lot of little incidental roles.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
That people can be squeezed in. So
No, it truly is a great book, and the characters are so good. I would assume you're going to write another one based on that type of.
well, I got
Story.
Well, between you and me, it's out on the podcast. But I signed a.
No, trust me, it's still between me and you.
Stop it! I signed a 2-book deal to do I'm doing a private investigator series of a PI in Chicago.
Right.
Who used to be in the Chicago Police Department.
Right.
Left kind of under a cloud, not his cloud, but the department's cloud. Had a huge settlement, so he's financially set, like you. And then he picks cases that he wants. He's very selective.
Wow.
So people come to him to try to find to solve these interesting cases. And most of the time he says, nah, I got to golf. This is my peak golf season.
Yeah.
And then they'll say something that really catches attention. And it's never about the money. It's always about, what is really happening here. So anyway,
Awesome.
I got a 2-book deal on that.
That's
so,
awesome. Good for you.
My first draft is due in 2 months. Jeez, I got to start writing it.
No offense. I know the diet books are really good, and I've read almost all of them.
Yeah.
But I was so surprised at how good that book was.
I love that book.
And I know that's sort of an insult, but it's
No,
a compliment
no, it's
too.
too-
I was just surprised because it was such a left turn for you. I'm like, what? It's a novel? Dr. Ian Smith wrote a novel?
You're not by yourself. A lot of people's like, you wrote this?
And then
Yeah.
it's based in Harvard and
Secret
Boston
societies.
and Harvard Square and all that stuff, which I love. I miss Boston so
too.
much.
Me too.
Anyway, and really fast,
Yeah.
how is Chicago before we move on to clean and lean?
It's good. We're recovering from this Jussie Smollett nonsense.
What's your thoughts on that?
Come on. Everyone in Chicago knew right from the beginning that it was
Bullshit.
Of course.
His story that it was
It
bullshit.
didn't make any sense.
Right.
My wife and I are lying in bed, and the local news came on, which I don't watch very often because I can't. Local news is just all bad stuff. It's just
Can I just do this for a second? Here's all the bad things that are happening right around you.
I mean, that's what it is. So we don't even watch it, but we were watching national programming. At night, then the
Yeah,
local
yeah.
comes on.
Yeah.
So we hadn't changed the TV yet to Nat Geo, which I love, by the way, at night.
Right.
Nice little way to go to sleep.
Love Nat Geo.
Love Nat Geo. So anyway, this thing comes on, and we're lying in bed, looking at each other like, both of us at the same time, like, this don't make no sense whatsoever.
Yeah.
We knew from the beginning that it was nonsense. First of all, the air. Look, I'm going to get in trouble doing this. My kids told me not to talk about this publicly, but I'm just going to say these
You
things.
got to talk
I know,
about it
but
publicly
Can I just say
because you're a smart person.
I just want to say the things.
This
that
is the good stuff, by the way, that gets people talking.
Okay, I want to say
Not
this.
Kale.
Not Kale. Well, I already told you Kale sucks. Listen, right from the beginning, number one, the area where this happened in Chicago is the Gold Coast. It's like Fifth Avenue.
Right.
There are cameras every 5 feet.
Yeah.
The fact that no camera caught this alleged
Right.
episode.
That's
didn't fly.
insane right there.
Number two, it's 2-something in the morning.
Yeah.
We had just, I think, gotten over the polar vortex.
Yeah.
It's freezing out in Chicago at that time of the year at 2 in the morning. Someone's going to get a Subway sandwich at 2-something in the morning. Now, I understand that actors and singers have late night.
Yeah.
But 2 o'clock in the morning, you want to go to a Subway to get a sandwich, and you go in that particular place, and then someone at that time of the morning is wearing a MAGA hat?
Right.
In the Gold Coast of Chicago?
Yeah.
And they're carrying a rope?
Yeah.
To make it and bleach?
Yeah.
Really? Come on, guys. This is stuff.
That's a stretch.
Here's the problem.
I wouldn't
it was
believe
too
it if it was in a novel.
It was too much.
Right.
Right? Like you should have done just 2 of those things.
Yeah.
You try to do too much and it didn't make sense. And then all of a sudden now it's a mess. And then the prosecutor handled it wrong, right? They should have taken it to trial. In most of these cases, just for the record, and I got to dump out of this, otherwise my wife's going to kill me. But here, this kind of case, most of these cases, they don't bring them to trial. They plea them out.
Right.
They get a guilty plea from them.
Right.
And they give them community service, blah, blah, blah. That's the usual case. Not just for a celebrity. For 5,000 cases is what they do.
Yeah.
Here's the problem with this case. The first thing that happened was Tina Chen, who worked for the Obamas, made a call to the prosecutor. Mistake number one. You don't meddle with a prosecutor. Let the prosecutor do what she or he has to do. That was the first problem. So it already looks like interference on his behalf. Then the prosecutor recuses herself and says, I'm not going to do it. Okay, that looks good. But come to find out, she didn't really recuse herself. She's still talking to her deputies about the case.
Yeah.
Then you decide to drop the charges. When you drop the charges, the typical way, and all the other state's attorneys have said this, when you drop a charge like this, you first extract a guilty plea from the person. So they say, I'm guilty, then you don't prosecute it, and they agree to the penalty. You dropped the charges without getting him to say he was guilty.
Right.
Why?
That's insane.
It's just a mess. And Chicago has enough problems.
Well, that's why I was asking you about Chicago.
We don't need this guy coming here, doing this nonsense, and now he's created this firestorm on top of the other problems we already have that are organic to our city. Anyway.
Can I ask you one last thing about it, though?
Yeah.
So why is it that it depends on your color whether you're going to support the guy or not?
Oh, that's a good
That
question.
drives
You
me
wanna know-
insane.
you know why?
On both sides, by the way. I'm not.
I know.
This happens with white people and black people and everyone in between.
This
It
goes
depends on what color the person is, whether you're going to say I'm supporting him or going to say he's full of shit.
Because people are very tribal.
I
All of us
understand
are
that.
tribal, and what happens is you do not allow your intellectual abilities to override the tribalism that inherently exists in all of us, by the way. And so what happens is, because we're such a divided society and race has played such a big deal, unfortunately, that's your first instinct is to say they're trying to ramrod the guy, right? That's from the black side. You say they're trying to ramrod him. This is them going after one of us again. From the white side, they say, look at these guys. These guys, this is what they do. They're all gangsters. They're all, illegal people. Even the people who have some means, they're always doing something nefarious.
Yeah.
So those kind of instincts, unfortunately, play out. And so when something happens, we bring that baggage to it rather than looking at it through an open mind. I'm African American. I looked at it and right away, I didn't see color.
Right.
I said, this doesn't make any sense whatsoever.
Yeah.
So I've worked my whole life to make sure that I try to approach every person, every situation, not from the color side, but does this make sense to me intellectually? And that case made no sense. What bothers me, though, is that a lot of other people, I have a lot of friends who were on his side, and who are black, I kept trying to explain to them, hold on for a second. Look at the facts of the case.
Yeah.
This doesn't make sense. You're speaking emotionally.
Yeah.
Because you don't want this black guy to get but it's not about black or white.
Right.
This isn't a black or white issue. And come to find out, the two guys, were they white?
Black.
No, they're black.
Yeah.
They're Nigerian.
Yeah.
It's just a mess.
Wow, that is great. Thank you for saying that.
It's a mess.
You know, I wasn't a kid, but when I finally realized that's how it works in this country was the O.J. Simpson trial.
Oh, jeez.
You had white people openly crying their eyes out, and black people were throwing a party. And I'm thinking to myself, this is a tragedy for everybody.
For everybody.
And there's no celebrating here.
None. That's
Was
when
that
crazy?
That's
I'll
when
never
I
forget
realized, wow, it's not about the facts.
No.
It's not
No.
about your intelligence anymore. It's really, truly comes down to what color you are. And I'm like, that's insane.
The country has got to move beyond that. And the climate.
Well, it happens with our politics, too.
Well, I was going to say, the climate that we're in now, the reason why this is a dangerous climate is because it's bringing up and igniting these old things that we've all of us, black, white, Hispanic, Asian, we've all tried to bury these things and put them in our past.
Yeah.
And the climate now is just bubbling it to the top, and that's
Right.
bad for us.
Of course
because
it
now
is.
we got to spend how many more decades into our kids' lives trying to get it to beat it back down again.
Right.
You may feel good in the moment, and you may feel like you have some momentum right now, but guess what? Look at our history. This is going to go away, and people are going to be embarrassed by this. I'm
Yeah.
telling you.
Yeah.
Going after people and migrants and immigrants and stuff like that, and the way that people are going after them, these are human beings.
Right.
Like have some compassion. I'm not saying that we shouldn't follow law and order, but there's a way to do it compassionately. But vilifying people and making false accusations and saying that they're going to rape people and mug people and kill people. You see the pictures of these people? These are people who are, like I said earlier in the podcast, people who are have little of nothing.
Yeah.
They're trying to get just a better. They're not trying to get your mansion, by the way. Forget it. They don't even want your 3-bedroom apartment. They want a 1-bedroom apartment. They'll put 6 people in it.
Yeah.
That's all they want, with a roof over their head so the sun and water don't affect them. Come on, guys. We got to be fair. And by the way, we all are going to die.
Oh, you're pissing off people right now.
I know. I know. But let me tell you something.
But I like this.
But let me tell you something, though.
Because I agree with you more than I don't.
Let me tell you something. We're all.
And I have no problem saying that.
We're all going to die. All of us. And all this stuff that we have, we're not going to take with us.
Yeah.
So think about being a human. Think about having some compassion. Think about leaving this place better for your kids and your grandkids. That's how I live my life. Like, I don't want to consume everything.
Yeah.
You know, the whole point of this whole this green stuff is not that, you know, you want to piss people off, but it's like, let's leave the earth in a better place, because we're leaving. Like I said, I was in Egypt. They built that stuff 4,000 years ago. Those guys were over there building stuff. Where are they now? They're gone. They're dust.
Right.
So you and I are going to be dust. So let's leave the place in a better place.
Wait, did you see the pyramids?
Oh, my goodness.
So what is...
Life-changing.
Why is it life-changing?
I don't care what you say. I've been to Notre Dame. I've been to the Eiffel Tower. I've been all over London. I've been to China, the Great Wall.
Were you at Notre Dame recently?
No, I was not. Don't get me in that mix.
I love that laugh.
Yeah, don't get me in that mix. But I've been to Notre Dame several times.
Why is the pyramids life-changing?
Because you look at it and you realize that those pyramids and the Sphinx and the temples, everyone talks about the pyramid, but the temples too, that in my opinion, I've seen a lot of this stuff. In my opinion, it's the greatest craftsmanship of man in history. Because think about the time that they did it and what the tools that they had to do it, and look at how they've lasted in their splendor. When you see and touch the pyramids, it's life-changing. You just are humbled by the fact that people 4,000 years ago could actually have the ingenuity and the physical ability to make these things without machines, without electricity, without all kinds of stuff. It's just life. Egypt is life-changing.
But why is it that we can't truly figure out how they did it?
We know how some.
We're getting there, I guess.
Yeah, but one way they did it. One way they did it was they started at the base.
Yeah.
And then they would build dirt ramps in circular fashion. So every time they finished a layer, they would push the stones up the dirt ramp. Think about it, going around and around and around until they got to the top. That's the only way they could do it. But even still, the brute force, some of those stones that you look at, they're bigger than this room.
Yeah.
Some of those stones are 6,000 pounds.
Right.
And so the way they had to move the stones, sometimes it could take them months to move a stone, 20 feet. It's ridiculous. Pyramids are great. And the Sphinx is great too.
But then there are people that believe that aliens might have been involved.
Jeez.
And you know what's fascinating?
You went with OGs on that. Why are you rolling your eyes?
Oh, no.
Okay. Go ahead.
I say, you know what's fascinating about the pyramids? I was there.
Yeah.
It's because the harsh conditions in Egypt. It's 120 degrees. It's sandstorms, and they're still perfectly there.
It's unbelievable.
When you stand next to one and you look up, you're like, one brick is sometimes 11 feet.
Haven't they said that it could have been a rainforest back in the day too, or a lot greener?
Well, they think that the rocks were closer than they are.
Yes.
It's the Sahara Desert.
Yes.
And there was
the river. So what happened was the river swelled.
Yeah.
And when it swelled, it helped them be able to take all the materials in the rocks. And then what happened is the river contracted. So they used the river to transport a lot of this stuff. It's just
amazing.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
What did it make you think about?
It just made me think that we think we're so great and we're not.
Right.
Right? We think we're so great. We think that we have it all, skyscrapers, blah, blah, blah. We've evolved because of technology, but when you think about greatness, and this is the problem I think with most of Americans, is that we have to realize we are citizens of the world. Every country thinks that they're the greatest.
Yeah.
And it's okay.
Yeah.
But you also have to be respectful that the Parisians are great, that the British are great, that the Greeks are great. Everyone has greatness.
Well,
Chinese
the
are
problem
great.
is we all think we're in the greatest country in the world, but we've never really seen a lot of countries.
Well, that's why I wish Americans would travel more.
We just blindly say America is the greatest country in the world.
Can I tell you something?
And it seems like it's pretty damn good, obviously, but...
If you travel more,
yeah,
you'll understand and love your country even more.
Oh, beautiful.
How about that?
I like that.
You'll realize that there's a bigger world out there, but you'll also will love your country and realize why you love it. It gives you context of why you love your country.
Okay.
And you also realize there's some things about the country that aren't great.
Right.
By the way, which is okay. No one's perfect, but you'll still. I love every time I leave.
What do you love
I can't wait
about
to go home.
America that you learned traveling overseas? I love this podcast.
I love the openness of America. The openness. When I was in China and Morocco, a lot of countries are closed in the way that like America, and it sounds trite, but you're free to do stuff. Seriously, we have a lot of choices here. You have choices.
Yeah.
A lot of countries you don't have choices, either that one or that one. For us, well, you could go to all these different schools. You could go to all these different restaurants. It's just we don't realize how much choice we have, and I just think that is great about America and other countries. Unfortunately, particularly in Asian countries, jeez.
Yeah.
Okay, we got to pause right here. Geez, I thought I was going to get some tips on how to lose a few pounds for the summer. Instead, a race riot is brewing in my house, and I feel like I'm listening to the History Channel. But that's cool. This next sponsor will help me out, and you. And then we'll come back with more interesting conversation with Dr. Ian Smith on OpieRadio.
Robert,
Opie?
when are you going to get in shape?
What is that supposed to mean? I've lost a shitload of weight.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Are you using OpenFit?
I am using Open.
You are?
Yes, and I'm eating better.
And you're eating better.
I'm on an all barbecue, no barbecue sauce diet, if that makes any sense.
Is that like a new diet? I don't think it's on my OpenFit app.
It's
I
probably
love
not
my
on the
OpenFit, and I didn't see no barbecue diet.
I just eat all the meat that Carl cooks. That's
Oh,
it.
there you go. See, that's the dilemma we have. We want to, stay in shape and look terrific, but then we have our best friend there, Carl, tempting us with all these delicious, unhealthy meals.
Well, I just cut the sauce out and I cut the bread out. I just eat the meat.
All right. Well, getting fit and staying healthy always sounds easier said than done, right? We just explained that.
Yes, it is.
OpenFit is bringing you something new that makes it even easier to never miss a sweat session. Lose the commute to the gym and let the workouts come to you. This is perfect. It's right on your phone or your tablet. I'm telling you. Because that's what you hear from people like, I love to get in shape, but I don't have the time to get to the gym, and I got the kids, and I got blah. As long as you got a phone or a tablet, you can work out anywhere.
Yep.
Anywhere. And you don't have to work out for as long. For the longest time, people thought, well, I'm not going to see any results unless I spend like the whole day in the gym. That's not true, man. And OpenFit explains all this stuff to you. OpenFit takes all of the complexity out of losing weight and getting fit. It's a brand new, super simple streaming service that allows you to work out from the comfort of your living room in as little as 10 minutes a day. I love OpenFit. I've been using it more and more. I've been going to a gym and I've had a trainer and all that, but then OpenFit came to the OpieRadio podcast, so I started fooling around with that, and I'm like, oh my God, these guys really know what they're doing. They have workouts catered to you personally, whether it's like yoga or something a little more challenging, and then they got all these articles on how to eat right and stuff.
Yeah,
it's
been very
perfect.
good.
Huh?
Yeah, it's been great.
It's been great.
Yeah, you look good too.
Well, thank you, Robert. And everyone's bodies are different, and OpenFit gets that, which is why it's personalized to your needs with custom, tailored, original content, amazing trainers and classes. Super simple, like I said. Access anywhere and anytime. You can view on your computer, web-enabled TV, tablet, or the smartphone. And Roku, by the way. Let's not forget about the Roku people. Results you can see: lose up to 15 pounds in just the first 30 days, flatten your abs, shape your body, and look and feel great. Oh, yeah. Talk about your experience. I did talk about my experience. Sorry. Sorry about that. I have passion for my advertisers. OpenFit has changed the way I work out, and with my code OPIE, O-P-I-E, you could join me on a fitness journey personalized just for you. Again, use my code OPIE, O-P-I-E, and start using OpenFit for your journey to a healthier life. Right now, during the OpenFit 30-Day Challenge, my listeners get a special extended 30-day free trial membership to OpenFit, where you can lose up to 15 pounds in 30 days when you text OPIE, O-P-I-E, to 303030. You will get full access to OpenFit, all the workouts, and nutrition information, which is very important. Totally free. Again, just text OPIE, O-P-I-E, to 303030. Standard message and data rates may apply. Thank you, OpenFit. Paid for by National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, NHTSA is working hard to combat texting while driving. It can be a little frustrating, especially if you're in a hurry or running late, to find yourself at a railway crossing waiting for a train. And if the signals are going and the train's not even there yet, you could feel a bit tempted to try and sneak across the tracks. Well, don't. Ever. Trains are often going a lot faster than you expect them to be, and they can't stop. Even if the engineer hits the brakes right away, it could take a train over a mile to stop. By that time, what used to be your car is just a crushed hunk of metal, and what used to be you, well, better not think about that. The point is, you can't know how quickly the train will arrive. The train can't stop even if it sees you. The result is disaster. If the signals are on, the train is on its way. And you just need to remember one thing. Stop. Trains can't. I want to welcome ProFlowers back to the Opie Radio show. Man, we got to take care of our mothers. Mother's Day right around the corner. What are you doing? You know she's special and you want to do something nice for you and you're sitting there panicking like, oh my God, what do I do? You got to call ProFlowers. Their flowers are nice, real fresh. I will be calling for my wife because my kids are too small to order their own ProFlowers. So I will make the order to ProFlowers. I'm going to get some great roses. Then I'm going to put my son's name and my daughter's name on the card, and I'm going to be all set there, Robert.
That's awesome. I'm doing the exact same thing, but I don't have any kids.
You don't have any kids?
I don't have any kids, so they'll be from me because I am old enough to call ProFlowers.
Right. And I've been doing business with ProFlowers for so many years. I know they sent me flowers. Where are they? Because I haven't seen them yet, Robert. And I know in the past, when I worked for other places, my ProFlowers would come, and they're so fresh and so nice, and everyone understands that somebody at the office just grabbed it and took it home with them, and then would come to me and go, I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened with your flowers, man. I don't know.
That does explain what I saw in Tim's office. We'll have to go deal with that in a minute.
All right. I love ProFlowers. ProFlowers lets you choose from a variety of bouquets and unique vases or vases that suit every mom's style. Then simply select the delivery date you want. ProFlowers carefully packages your flowers and delivers them fresh from the farm. That is the truth. Over the years, these flowers have lasted a really long time. And express delivery means her flowers stay fresh. They cut them at the farm and they throw them in a box right away. Mm-hmm. They're smart that way. Right now, get 1 dozen assorted roses for $19.99. Double the roses and get a premium vase for just $9.99 more. Visit ProFlowers.com. Click on the microphone in the upper right corner and enter the code OPIE, O-P-I-E. That's ProFlowers.com. Click the microphone, code OPIE, O-P-I-E. Mother's Day, May 12th, so don't wait. Order like a pro and get this amazing rose deal to thank all the moms in your life. And welcome back aboard, ProFlowers. ProFlowers.com.
Opie Radio.
My producer, Mike, that's Mike Safo, by the way. He's a world traveler. How many countries have you been to?
79.
79 countries.
And you just nailed it with Asia. We were just in Cambodia. And there's a rich part, and then we went to the poorer part. There's kids that live on the boat with one parent. The father goes out fishing for 6 months. The truth, those kids have zero chance of ever. That's the cycle ever. And then you mentioned freedom. I just booked a ticket to Bhutan.
Ooh, love it.
You land there. You have to have a driver with you the whole time. Like, people don't realize.
What? I don't know that place. What is it?
It's small. It's near Nepal and India. It's they just opened up tourism.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's like, you get there and you can't go there without getting a tourism. You got to pay everything ahead. They pick you up. You can't leave your driver. It's not communist.
Yeah.
They just want everything controlled.
Yes.
And you don't realize you come here as a tourist. Go do whatever the heck you want anywhere.
Like, it's just like, and some tourists are confused by it. Like, what do I do? Because there's so many options. No one's telling them you have to do this. It's like,
and that's why they just hang out in Times Square and never see New York City. So they hang out with the rest of the farmers. I'm like, you're not seeing New York.
right? That's right.
You're going to a dumb M&M store. You can do that wherever
I know,
you
right?
live.
Right, the M&M store, right?
What are you doing?
There's one in Vegas,
Right. New Yorkers avoid Times Square. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Westwood One being in this building. I hate Times Square. Let's go to TGIF. Why would you spend all that money to come to New York to go to TGIF? What's wrong with you? There's a giant McDonald's right next door to us. It's like 3 floors. It's pretty insane. And you see all the tourists going in there.
Loaded.
You don't have a
Dude,
McDonald's.
You can do
in
that
your
back in
hometown?
Kansas.
Right.
You can go, but in Idaho, I mean, Anyway, let's talk about clean and lean before I get out of here. You guys are going to kill me.
No.
I gotta help people. You want to
7
You had me
pounds.
going off stuff. 7 pounds.
One last thing.
Yeah.
And I promise we'll finally move on because it's really important to everything we're talking about. What drives me nuts about this country and politics in general, you got 50% of the population that wants the other 50% to think exactly like them.
Oh,
It's
wow.
never going to happen.
What a great statement.
But both sides have to come
What a great
and move
statement.
toward the middle.
Our differences.
You watch Fox and they're like CNN and MSNBC. It's full of shit. We're going to tell you exactly how to think, and the other side does that too. Both sides are out of their minds. It'll never happen. So it's a complete waste of time.
Our differences are beautiful. They define us, but they shouldn't divide us. You shouldn't be divided by differences. Like, you're allowed to have a different opinion.
Right.
For example, we're talking about this Jussie Smollett case. You can have a different opinion, but I'm not going to go out and like punch you and throw stones at you because you believe him.
Right.
I just think that I disagree, but we can move on and we can still do other things.
Yeah.
The problem with this country is when we have differences, that's like absolute for us. We don't want anything to do with you.
Right.
We want to get personal.
Right.
We want to call you names, and it's not. It's not.
breaking up families at this point.
Jeez.
And your paycheck's not getting better.
Nope.
But you're losing your loved ones.
Exactly.
Stop it.
Exactly.
All right, that's it for now. All right, Clean and Lean. Sorry, Dr. Ian Smith. A long way to get to your new book, 30 Days, 30 Foods, a New You. But I'm telling you, people are digging this one.
Okay.
They're digging this one. I promise you on that. So I got. This is why I mentioned the Ancient Nine. So that book, I read every word, loved it to death. I didn't even know you had a new book. I just saw you were in town. I'm like, will you do my podcast?
Always.
So I got to tell you, I did not read this.
You don't have to read it. There's
I don't
nothing to
know
read.
anything about it.
There's nothing to read. How about that? Let me tell you I'll tell you right now what it is. It's clean eating meets intermittent fasting. Clean eating means eating reduced processed ingredients, things like synthetic chemicals, artificial sweeteners, stuff you're already doing, by the way.
Right.
So clean eating plus intermittent fasting. Intermittent fasting means a period of feeding with a period of fasting. And there you take those two great programs, which, by the way, independently are great. 1 + 1 does not equal 2 in this case. It equals 3. And let me explain to you. People on this program, it's a 30-day program, they lose on average up to 15 pounds in 30 days. 15. We have a Facebook group. Join our Facebook group. It's called Cleaner Get Leaner. Cleaner Get Leaner. We had a lady from Canada, just posted last week. She's probably 160 pounds. She lost 13 pounds in 11 days.
Wow.
People are saying, how is this happening? Because clean eating by itself is going to cause you to help you drop weight.
Yeah.
Intermittent fasting by itself is going to help you drop weight.
Yeah.
You put both those two together, through the roof. Trust me. Now, let me tell you what intermittent fasting is. There's misconceptions about intermittent fasting. Intermittent fasting is not starvation. It simply means you're going to eat fast. Thus the word intermittent. You're already doing it. When you're sleeping, guess what you're doing?
Fasting.
You're fasting. So
Right.
we're already doing it, except now we're going to regulate it so that it's real structured. So, for example, you have a feeding window. Let's say, and the book gives you all different feeding and fasting windows you can create. It's very customizable, the book is. Let's say, for example, you want to start eating at 10 a.m. in the morning. You eat your 3 meals and 3 snacks from 10 a.m. to, let's say, 8 p.m. That's your feeding window. From 8 p.m. to 10 a.m. is your fasting window. Why does that work? That works because when you're fasting, your body still needs energy, but there's no food on board. Where's your body going to get energy if there's no food on board?
From your blubber.
From your fat. Absolutely. Fat is a storage form of energy.
So you're telling people to stall their breakfast.
Yes.
But
yes.
man, what if you're waking up and you're just jonesing and you feel like you're starving?
First of all, most people don't even eat breakfast. Let's get
I
that.
do smoothies every morning.
Yeah,
instead.
most people aren't really jonesing for breakfast. In fact, I used to have to make people eat breakfast.
But I start shaking if I don't have my food. I'm bringing up all the stuff.
I hear you.
Everyone else
I hear
is
you.
gonna
So
bring
here's
up.
the deal. During your fast, you're allowed to have water.
So fasting is truly just from 8 o'clock at night, stop eating, which I already do. I don't do late night snacking, and then stall my breakfast until 10 a.m.
It's up to you. You make your hours. You can do a 16 feeding, 8 fast. You can do a 14 feeding, 10 fasting. You decide how aggressive you want to be. Obviously, the longer you're fasting, the more aggressive you are, the more successful you're going to be. But it's up to you to do it.
Doc, I was doing it. I learned it from you. I lost 23 pounds in around 5 months. Ope keeps saying I'm losing too much weight. I'm actually up to the 20 and 4. I fast for 20 hours now. I haven't been hungry. The first few days are tough.
Yes.
But remember, you start off with 16 fasting hours and then 8. Then you can go down to 6. I'm at 20 and 4. I eat from 12 to 4, but I'll adjust it. Today I'm working late for my other job.
Sure.
So I'll eat, say, from 3 p.m. to just say 7 p.m. Then I'm
And you're
done.
good.
I'm telling you, I'm never hungry.
Yeah.
And remember, in that thing, if you eat healthy, it's doubling up your weight loss. It's the fasting completely changed my life. My whole family's doing it.
I'm just confused by the whole fasting thing. You're basically really, truly saying here is to stall your breakfast.
Yes.
Because then when 10 a.m. comes, you could eat, obviously you got to eat the right stuff and be smart about from 10 a.m. to around 8 p.m.
Here's a mistake people make. During their feeding window, they think they can eat anything.
Well, that's how we are as humans.
That's it's not going to work. And that's why in the book, every day I spell out your meals for you, your snacks for you, and there's exercise. Listen, exercise will help you even increase the weight loss. Does it mean you have to go to the gym for an hour at a time? No, I put it in the book. These are exercises we can do right here in the studio.
Yeah.
You can do it at home. There are 3 tracks, beginner, intermediate, and advanced. But let me just say this about the fasting part. You decide your hours, right? You decide what your hours want to be. But you can't break the fast, because if you break it by eating calories, your body then is going to go for those calories to use for energy instead of the fat. We're trying to drive into our fat stores. And one of the big pluses of intermittent fasting is not just weight loss, reduces inflammation, reduces asthmatic symptoms, but it reduces belly fat.
Right.
Because it drives your body into those stores. So that's why Clean and Lean is so effective. That's why people are having a great time. And by the way, vegetarian, vegan, pescatarian, I don't care what you are, carnivore, everyone can do it because this thing is interchangeable. It's very flexible.
Yeah.
And in his book, Doc, I checked it out. You keep saying you can miss breakfast. You don't have to. I have breakfast every morning, sometimes at 11 o'clock. And in your book, you can have bacon, you can have oatmeal, you can have eggs. So you can have that.
No,
so
I
you're still
understand.
having the breakfast mentality.
That's right.
As I sit here and listen, and it sounds pretty exciting, I'm already thinking in my head, I get up at like 5:30 in the morning. So
Me too.
I'm like,
When you go to sleep, though, let's do you right now. 5:30 you're up when you go to sleep.
I would love to be in bed by 9, but the kids stay up later than me.
I know.
So
Well, that's a problem.
I'm in bed by 10.
Okay, let's
10:30.
say 10. That means I would put your last meal should not be after 8 o'clock.
Yeah, no.
Okay, so think about it. If your last meal is at 8 o'clock, you're going to bed at 10. Let's say you get up at 5:30. You're now fasting from 8 p.m. to 5. Well, I would go a little more. I'd go to 7 a.m. I wouldn't eat until 7.
So if I'm up at 5:30 and my last meal is at 8 o'clock at night, I could eat breakfast at 7.
7.
And this will work.
Oh. You're gonna text me and say, Dr. Ian, you're crazy. This really is working.
Right.
Because you're gonna keep driving your body. Give yourself about a week and a half, and start off by weighing yourself.
Yeah.
Then a week and a half you weigh yourself, and I'm telling you, if you eat the way you do, regular, and you do this fasting, it's gonna work. And by the way, once again, my Instagram handle, I gotta remind people.
Go,
Yeah,
please.
hit me on Instagram at Dr. Ian Smith. Spell the doctor out, I-A-N Smith. The first 5 who hit me out, I will send you a copy of Clean and Lean. If I don't respond to you, you probably didn't get it, but the book is available everywhere. It's like $16 on Amazon, Walmart, Target, Barnes & Noble. And guess what? If you don't want to buy it, don't buy it. Go to your library.
Yeah,
Public library will get it for you. Free.
And then you help people out with the meals when you are eating, right?
Oh yeah, every
See, it's
day
all
is-
about. I already know that it's all about knocking down the processed food, knocking down the sugar. Sugar is rough, man. I'll tell you,
Horrible.
the best I ever looked in my life was when I saw that movie Fed Up. We talked
Yes.
about it over the years. The documentary. It scared me about sugar and how much sugar we have in our diets in America. And I just went cold turkey, and I was getting headaches and everything, not having sugar. I was studying labels. I'm like, this thing has 2 grams of sugar. No, I'm not. You know what I mean? The yogurt, everything you can imagine has sugar in it, ketchup and all this stuff. So I went, I cut my sugar as low as you possibly can. I lost a ton of weight. My skin looked better. I was doing a lot of smoothies. And you know what? When I was cheating a little bit with the sugar, it tasted awful. I didn't even like the taste of
You don't
sugar
like it.
anymore. But
added sugars.
yeah, but
'Cause
slowly,
some things have natural
slowly
sugars.
but surely, I was like, a cookie here, a little taste of this here, a scoop of ice
dopamine.
cream.
You start releasing that dopamine.
And then, fast forward, you're back addicted to sugar just like that, because they say that sugar is more addicting than cocaine.
Sugar is unbelievable. It stimulates the pleasure center. Dopamine is released, and when dopamine released, it feels good, hits your pleasure center, and so you want more of it. That's why, by the way, artificial sweeteners are bad for you, because artificial sweeteners are 200 times sweeter than sugar.
Yeah.
So even though you're drinking this diet soda, has all this artificial sweetener crap in there, and then you're more addicted. You want more sweets because now you're doing that. So I just want
I
people
don't
to
do
realize.
soda, man, because I grew up poor, so we never had soda in the house.
Yeah, we
and
didn't
to this day, I enjoy a soda every once in a while, and it's really enjoyable, but
Right.
I don't drink soda. But I was looking up the other day, so
when you're craving sugar, what are some of the, besides the book, obviously, because we're talking to a lot of people right now. A lot of people are going to get Clean and Lean by Dr. Ian Smith and try the program for sure. But other little things, when you're craving sugar, what can you do to knock that craving down instead of going for the ice cream, the candy bar, the cookies, and everything else in between?
Well, I have two thoughts on that, and some people may not agree with it. The first of all, if you know how you are, and if you're able to actually control yourself and get a little sugar and be done with it, you should do it.
Right.
Right? There's that group of people who say, I have enough discipline where I can take a scoop of ice cream, I can have just 3 small chocolate chip cookies. I'm that way. I eat sweets. I eat brownies and cookies. My little kids bake me cupcakes, you know.
Me and Dr. Ian Smith, when he comes to New York, we hang out a little bit. He's very confusing. Because
Why? 'Cause
I've
the
seen him
cookies?
eat. I'm like, how are you so thin?
But that's what you have to do. If you go buy a thing of cookies, I'll take 2 of them and I'll throw the rest out. It sucks, but I'm like, because I need self-control.
Or I'll save it. So the first part is if you have control, take a little bit.
Yeah.
And it's okay. You're fine. If you don't have self-control,
That's what I'm talking about.
number one, you cannot be around it. You simply can't start. And so what I say to people all the time is, I know this is going to sound corny, but brushing your teeth, chewing gum, using mouthwash, it takes away your desire. Or go get something savory or get something crunchy. So, almonds are great, celery, carrots, the baby carrots with some hummus. Eat something savory. Eat something with protein and fiber to counteract your sweetness, and it'll go away. But the key is you got to. By the way, these kind of cravings don't last for a long time. They last for about 3 to 6 minutes. You just got to get through those 3 to 6 minutes.
Right.
So you got to distract yourself with other things.
Well, you mentioned the toothpaste, because I listen to you all the time. We're accustomed to having a big meal and then ordering dessert. If I have a big meal at home, mouthwash, and then I brush my teeth.
Yes.
And you know what else I have? You mentioned...
And that's just as good as not slamming
Well,
the
you lose
cookie
the-
dough ice cream?
Of course not, but afterwards you're like, okay.
Yeah.
And you know what else I do
Yeah.
for my craving late at night? Because I'm up late watching sports? Green tea, but blueberry flavored, mint flavored.
Yeah,
The
see?
smell itself.
Yes.
And remember, with the fasting, you can have coffee in the morning, you can
Sorry,
have
I'm
tea in the
getting all-
morning.
I'm getting like
We'll get into it,
carrying
huh?
this right.
Well, I can't help myself, he said.
It's 11:30 last night. I'm watching baseball. I have blueberry tea. Like,
Wait.
Oh yeah.
Well, the other thing you do to get distracted away from the sugar, can I tell him?
you can. Now, my whole family loves Dr. Ian Smith. They're going to listen to it. Tell them it's okay.
He kind of enjoys urine play.
Okay.
My fiance and I, yeah.
Okay. Hey, listen. I'm a mature man, and people do all kinds of things. And
But if it gets you away from the sugar, why not?
Hey, whatever you enjoy, you enjoy.
That's my crutch.
Yeah, listen, have fun. That's what I say. Go all the way. Jeez. Life is short, dude. Come on.
Have a little fun.
Yeah,
What
come
else
on.
about the book, Dr. Ian Smith?
Okay, here's the deal. I have an app out. Oh, I forgot to tell
Really?
you. Jeez, what's wrong with me? Okay, listen. I have an app. It's called Dr. Ian's World. So go to driansworld.com and get the app. It's great. It has all your meals and your snacks and your exercise videos, a personal coach,
Right.
and every week I do a video chat with everyone in the group. So if you download the app, use the promo code CLEANER, capitalize all letters, CLEANER, CLEANER, and it'll give you like 20 or 30% off of the app. But it's a great app. We have
Nice.
hundreds of people on it. They love it. It's easy. I just think, listen, this is my 17th book, and I got to tell you, and I'm, you should never choose your children, of course. I got to say, this may be my most effective program. Everyone in the group, Cleaner Get Leaner, our Facebook group, everyone says that this is,
Yeah.
it's so easy.
I truly love the concept, and I sort of do that already. I just got to hone it. And
Yeah, you just gotta structure it.
I'm going to try this.
Why can't you do it, Opes? You've known me. How long have you known me? How long have you known me is the question.
Oh, wow.
We go back to,
At least 10 years. 15 years?
jeez, more than 10 years, dude.
I'm not
10
trying
years,
to remember.
10 years is 2008.
Oh, Christ.
It's before then.
Wow.
My point is,
I think we met early satellite radio years. So I started there around 2004.
yeah.
So we've known
You've
each other
known me
15 years.
all these years. When I tell you,
But can I tell you?
yeah, tell me.
In 15 years, this body is only, it's either 10 pounds lighter. I'm within 10 to 12 pounds always.
You have a great set
Always.
point. You have a great set point.
Always.
You have a very nice homeostatic mechanism. By that I mean, Your body has a set point and it vacillates down and up, but you
Right.
don't go wild. You don't have wild swings. You're lucky, by the way. That's good. Those are good genes and
Right.
behavior, good behavioral choices. But a lot of people, unfortunately, don't have that. I mean, a lot of people, for example, they can look at carbs and they gain 10 weight,
Yeah.
10 pounds. I mean, it's just that's,
Honestly, I'm pushing around 180. I want to be 170. That's it.
jeez, I could get you there.
That's it. But my problem too, I have an athlete's mind because I was brought up with basketball and sports in general. So when I go to the gym, I go all out because I don't know any better, and it just makes me feel good. Like if I'm running up and down the basketball court and doing sprints and this and that, I'm like, I could do that in my sleep. But then the problem is the other side of it. I'm exhausted for 2 or 3 days because I just wiped out my whole
Why don't you
body,
work out
and
with
I'm
me
an
one
older
time?
guy now.
Why don't you work out with me one time?
You?
You've never worked out with me?
I would do that.
I'm going to
But
show
my
you a
problem
workout,
is
a 15-minute workout. That's it.
Oh no, I do a lot of burst training and stuff like
Hey.
that. And I had a trainer for my back, and he talked about this fasting thing. By the way, he's like, every once in a while, just skip a meal.
And no, you mentioned the weight. I'll weigh myself if I'm 183. I look one way because of the fasting. Now I'm like 176, but my stomach, I lost. Sometimes you get that sickly
Yes,
look.
yes. Yeah.
With the fasting and with eating very similar to this, my stomach is the six-pack, the flattest it's ever been just because of this.
Because I'm telling you,
Good for you, Mikey.
all the research shows that the intermittent fasting does what? It goes into your fat stores. Look, potential benefits of intermittent fasting: 1, weight loss; 2, decreased inflammation; 3, improved asthma-related symptoms; 4, preserved learning and memory function; 5, decreased belly fat. I'm telling you.
All right.
Jeez.
I'm slouching though too, man. Look at making me sit up.
1 month from now, I better hear from you that you're down at least 7 pounds. At least. That's That's the smallest number I'm going to take from you.
Dr. Ian Smith, I got to tell you, this was our best one.
Our all-time best so far?
Yes, because you got deep. That stuff you were saying, and obviously the clean and lean stuff is really good too. That's the good stuff. More people need to just be honest and open and
next
talk.
Next time, let's just have a conversation about life.
We just did.
Well, I know next time. We're just going to have like...
Hey, by the way, about Egypt, and then we can wrap up.
Yeah.
The other thing is, like, when you see poor people around the world, they're not miserable in general, right? A lot of these people are.
Wow, look what he just said. Let me tell you something.
No, because in
Egypt-
America, it's never good enough. It's like, this is what we do in America. If only I got a raise. If only I moved to Boston. If only, I fell in love with a girl with a big boobs. All this. We play the if only game in America. And then when I talk to world travelers, I've talked to Mike and Lee and Anthony Bourdain over the years and Dr. Ian Smith and many others. They all come back and say, like, people are just happy with what they got in the rest of the world. In general.
I want to say 2 things on this before
Yeah.
we go, okay? Number 1, when I was on my honeymoon off the South China Sea many, many years ago, I was staying at this little resort, and the resort, you had to go to the lodge to get internet. So in the middle, it's halfway around the world. So in the middle of the night, they'd have to come pick up in a golf cart because, of course, I lived in New York, and I got to stay connected, right? So I had to get to my internet. And one day, the guys picked me up in the middle of the night, and I said to the guy, you ever like go to New York or, after 4 nights, we finally have a conversation, this guy and I in the middle of the jungle at night. He says, no, I can't afford it. I said, you can't afford it? What do you mean you can't afford it? I said, just save your money. He's like, no, never I go to New York. I said, well, how much do you make a month? Do you mind me asking? He says, about 200 US. I said, 200 US? I said, don't you want to make more money? He said, no, I'm happy. Everything is good.
Yeah.
Here this guy was. And here I am making, considerably more money here in New York City, trying to make more money, of course.
Yeah.
Find ways. And this guy says, I'm happy with $200 a month. And I'm like, wow, that's so deep. And then I go to Egypt, and I say I always find out what people make, not because I'm trying to get in their business, but because I try to understand context and relativity.
Sure.
I say to the guy, what's the average that someone will make in Egypt in a year? U.S. dollars. The average person. You know what he said? 2,000 to 3,000.
Wow.
I said, 2,000 to 3,000? He said, yeah. And yet people aren't, going crazy. And the poor people, they're happy people because of what you just said, which is here in America, it's always, well, I got a 3 Series BMW. Now I got to get the 5.
Yeah.
Then I got to get
It's
the
never good
750.
enough.
It's never good enough.
Right.
And if people spent less time worrying about what they don't have, but instead enjoying what they do have, I say this to my mother all the time, my mother, even at her age, is one of these people where she just can't, be happy with what she has. I said,
Yeah.
Mom, your priorities, you got to get your priorities right.
Right.
So, yeah. So would I like to have, a Ferrari and stuff like that? Sure, it would be fun. But guess what? I like what I have.
Yeah.
I'm happy. And I think that people will be happier people in general and less miserable at work if they were grateful. The reason why Denmark at one point was voted the happiest nation was because their philosophy was, well, I would like to have other things, but guess what? Don't focus on that. I'm happy with what I have.
Yeah.
And that's my point.
I had to learn that lesson. I mean, I stayed in a situation for many years because of the money, the fame, all that horse
All that
shit.
stuff.
And I had to learn, man, that doesn't make me happy. It never made me happy. I can't tell you how many people go, if you would get back together with Aunt, you know how much money you would make? I'm like, I don't care. It doesn't. That does
matter.
not make me happy anymore.
Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
I say no to that stuff all the time.
Right.
I say no to money deals all the time because
Look at this. We're in a dumb little stupid lounge with an IKEA couch, and I'm having more fun now than I've had in years.
wonderful, isn't it?
Of course.
The simplest things in life sometimes give you the greatest pleasure.
Right.
I learned that from watching kids, by the way. A kid could take a little toy that costs $2 and have the greatest pleasure with it.
Yeah.
And think about that for adults. Don't get caught up in the rat race. Now, yes, we got to survive. You would like to have some nice things. It's okay to have a bucket list. But don't let that control your happiness.
Right.
You want to know? I want to know if you feel the same way as me. I feel guilty sometimes going to third world countries for this reason. I'm a police officer, carry a gun. When I get in the subway, one hand in the pocket on the cell phone, one hand on the wallet. You go to third world countries, they're overly nice, and I'm like, are they going to try to scam me? Yeah. Sir, get away. And then after a while, like, they're just nice. They're not, you take your cell phone out for a selfie, no one's going to grab your cell phone. Well, I feel guilty leaving. I'm like, wow, the people from Myanmar were the nicest. Why'd I immediately judge them because they're poor? I feel so guilty every time I go away.
You just explained New York City because I'll say it again. I love saying this, though. I've been in the same building well over 10 years now. And people I see every day, I'm in the elevator with them. I don't know if this happens in Chicago, and they just look at you like you're a complete stranger. As soon as someone gets in the elevator and is nice to me and my beautiful kids, screw me, be nice to my kids. Right away, I'm like, oh, where are you from? Where are you visiting from? It's so obvious
right?
that they're not New Yorkers when they're nice to you.
So here's a test for you, right? This is what I started doing.
Yeah.
When I fly a lot. When I get off the plane, you know how you have the people with the wheelchairs and stuff there?
Sure.
I look at them and say hi to them.
Yeah.
Look at their reaction. They're shocked.
Yeah.
I say, hey, how you doing? They're
Yeah.
like, because people in this country have gotten away from just being friendly to other
Right.
people. I'm not asking you for a long conversation.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is, hey, how you doing?
Yeah.
Great. How are you? Great.
I'm guilty of it when I walk around. Someone says hi to me. I go, "What do you want?" I'm guilty of it because you get kind of programmed living in New York City, unfortunately, and I'm trying not to do that. I'm trying to be a little more open and friendly. And
we're all a work in progress.
yes, Dr. Ian Smith, what a pleasure. I noticed quickly that you dedicated the book to your
saw that?
your bromance. You and Mike Strahan, man. Jeez, to my brother Michael Strahan. Thanks for all the great memories. Let's make a whole lot more. Whoever thought we'd have so much fun? Whoever thought we'd have so much fun? Question mark. See you on the golf course. How's he doing?
He's fantastic.
Yeah, you got to bring him in here, man. It's been too long.
He has to come in. I mean, he's come a
Is he
long
kicking
way
ass
from
on that new show?
doing everything.
I
The
know
guy,
he is.
the guy, he's on vacation right now, but the guy doesn't stop.
Yeah. All right.
He's my guy.
I
You know
know
that.
he is. I know
Dude,
he
and
is.
you talk about going to the depths. We were down the depths, remember? That's another podcast. We were at the bottom. He was at the bottom too. And we were in there together like, dude, where is the light? I just see darkness.
Sleeping on each other's couches.
I mean, we were in it, man. And look at it now. So you got to believe, dude. You got to believe, and you got to send positive energy into the universe. The universe is about,
100%.
the universe has a way of making things right.
100%.
You just got to believe in it. And even when you're at your lowest point,
Right.
and even when you're at your darkest hour, like Winston Churchill says,
Yeah.
you got to rise.
Yeah.
And you got to believe. It's blind faith sometimes. But my brother always taught me, you got to go through darkness sometimes to get to the light.
Of course.
Everybody. You think
should-
my life is perfect? Your life is perfect? None of us.
No.
We're not perfect lives, but I believe that things can come out better on the other side.
Right.
And so that's how I live my life. And that's how Stray has done it. And he's very successful. He's done well. He's the same person, by the way, which is great. He hasn't changed.
Yeah.
He just has a lot of fancier stuff.
Yeah.
And a lot more fans. But, that's my man.
That's awesome. With that, it's been a pleasure. My
Yes.
friend of, I guess it's been about 15 years now,
Jeez.
Dr. Ian Smith. His new book is
Getting
called
old.
Clean and Lean, 30 Days, 30 Foods, New You. I'm actually very interested in this one because it already talks to me because I'm kind of doing this already.
You're already doing it.
I just need
it structures it for you.
I need to hone it in a little bit.
Cleaner Get Leaner is the Facebook page. My Instagram is at Dr. Ian Smith, spelled doctor out. And Dr. Ian's World is my app. Go to driansworld.com. See you guys online.
And with that, Joey,
I'm back.
wrap it up.
You got it, Greg. Hey, by the way, I've been doing intermittent fasting for years now, and it does help a lot. I don't eat my first meal till about maybe 4, 5, even 6 hours after I get up. I mean, there are times when I do break it, like on this last vacation, but for the most part, I have a window, and I keep that window pretty tight. Now, as far as what I put in that window,
Boo!
well, it's not as bad as Carl, but I do go overboard at times. Doing my best to get better with age. We'll leave a link to the book and Dr. Ian Smith's website in our show notes. Go to OpieRadio.com for a cool Ruizing hat or an Opie Radio t-shirt. Leave us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. Follow me on Spotify at Joey Salvia. And until next time, thanks for listening to Opie Radio.